Ladies and gentlemen, you are now about to witness the strength of straight knowledge. Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube, from the gang called with attitude. Hold off, get sawed off, squeeze the trigger and buys a hard off. Dude, boy, you may police come get me off your. That's how I'm gonna hold up and tone out. That's how it's done. Straight Outta Compton. That's how it's done. April 90 sent me a request to watch this movie. And let me tell you something. It was one hell of a movie. One of the best movies of the year. What's up, y'all? It's Marty back again, and it's time now for another movie review. Today we're doing Straight Outta Compton. Alright, here we go. Compton, South Central LA, 1986. Eazy-E is in the middle of a drug deal that's breaking bad. Guns are pulled, threats are made. The police appear, and raids the block, and E barely makes it out of the house and escapes from freedom across the rooftops. Whee! Let me move here. There we go. Meanwhile, Dr. Dre is listening to some records in his room. His mom is mad he missed the job interview. He says the job is running a DJ at a local club. Points out he's making $50 a night. Well, she points out that making $50 a night isn't a real job. She wants the best for him. He says he does too. He moves out. Little brother T is sad to see him go. Elsewhere, Ice Cube is writing rhymes on the school bus. Other kids on the bus horse around by flashing gang signs to the car driving next to the bus. The car cuts them off, and the guys inside board the bus and pull guns. They tell the kids they better start gang banging their books, or Crenshaw Mafia might just get him. Cube goes to the house where Dre is staying. He and Jinx are making beats. Cube tells him what happened on the bus. Lets him know he wrote some new rhymes. As Cube goes back to head home, the LAPD stop him and violently search him. Later, at Dutu's club, DJ Yella and Dre are spinning. The club owners, Lonzo, played by Corey Reynolds, tells him he doesn't want any rap on stage. But as soon as he steps out, Cube takes a mic and raps about his day. Lonzo hates it, but MC Ren and E are at the club and they like what they hear. Dre asks E to think about putting his money into the music. Let's find a parking lot after the LAPD locks up Dre. E bails him out. Outside the police station, Dre tells E that if he can sling dope, he can sling records. Together they form Ruthless Records. They invite a group from New York called HBO to record Boys in the Hood. One of the raps Cube wrote, but they hate it. It's suggested that Cube just record it, but he can't because he's already in a group with Jinx, so E does it. After much coaching from Dre, he's able to hit the beat. Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E and NWA become the #1 song for 6 weeks. Music manager Jerry Hiller meets with E and tells him he wants him to make it legit. They can build something big. Skip ahead to Skateland, 1988. E tells the group he wants them all wearing black clothes because it's professional. Jerry's invited other record executives to the show to check it out. They all pass with the exception of Brian Turner from Priority Records. Priority currently has the California Raisins on their roster, and NWA think that's a joke until Turner points out that the Raisins went gold. Bobby Brown, Bodyguard, Suge Knight is also at the show. He gives some props. The band records Straight Outta Compton at a recording studio in Torrance, CA. During a break in recording, the guys go outside and are harassed by the LAPD. Dre witnesses police brutality firsthand. After the event, Cube writes, "F the police." Jerry has given E his contract, but no one else has gotten theirs. Jerry says that's normal, the lawyers take forever. Meanwhile, Dre and his latest leave him with a baby at his aunt's house. Skip ahead a year later to the NWA tour in 1989. The Summit in Houston, the band plays inside the packed arena. Afterwards, Stray tells his brother on the phone that he can come out and meet up with them in Florida. Two guys show up with guns to find their girl at a hotel party. NWA chase them out with guns of their own. In the Riverfront Coliseum, which now sadly no longer is up anymore, I believe. The FBI issues a warning about playing F the Police. Joey recommends putting the song on hold for a little while. E sees this as a free publicity. In the Spectrum in Pennsylvania, the rest of NWA still doesn't have contracts. Cube mentions that to Dre, but Dre says he doesn't want Cube jumping to any conclusions that anything shady is going on. Dre gets to 911 page. His mom tells him that T, his younger brother, was killed in a fight. Dre breaks down crying and the rest of the group consoles him. E tells him that they will always stay brothers. They go back home so Dre can go to the funeral. His mom tells him that this would have never happened if he had just let his brother come on the road like he wanted. His mom says that isn't true and she's proud of Dre. Oh boy, this is where we get ugly. At the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, the Detroit police show up and tell them they can't play at the police due to the vulgar language of the song. Cube tells the crowd what's going on. They play it anyway. The crowd goes crazy. Police make their way to the stage. Gunshots are fired and everyone flees. In the ensuing riot, NWA is arrested. NWA holds a press conference. Cube says that their art reflects their reality. A reporter asked the band what a guy from Compton does when he starts making money like that. Everyone looks at E for an awkward moment. He answered, "Buy Raider gear." Jerry finally gives Cube a contract to sign and offers him a check for $75,000 once he signs it. Cube wants to get a lawyer to look it over because he knows something is wrong. Jerry doesn't want him to do that, so Cube walks away. Says he'd rather be broke than be, yeah, you know. Dre doesn't leave because we gotta do what we gotta do. He has his mom, a girl, and a child to think about. Suge is there when the tour ends and announces he's decided to go into management talent, Priority Records, 1990. Ice Cube is now with his wife, Kim, played by Alexandria Shipp. They meet with Turner, who tells Cube that there isn't a lot of money in going solo, but if his first record is a hit, they'll make it up on the second. His first album is a hit. 6 months later, Jerry is signing contracts at an Eazy-E Wet and Wild party. There's a whole ruthless roster going now. Jerry advises E that it's important to keep Dre happy. Suge decides to recruit Dre. Cube wants an advance for his second album, but Brian says it's too complicated. So Cube smashes up his office. E is jealous of Cube's success. The DOC is in an accident and his throat is crushed. Dre visits him in the hospital. Suge is there and points out that E and Jerry aren't. He makes another attempt at recruiting Dre and offers to have his people get Dre's contract. Brian plays the NWA record, Real Inwards, for Cube, where they call him a Benedict Arnold. Cube answers it by dissing NWA and Jerry on his next album. Well, technically his new single, which is called No Vaseline. Absolutely love it. He calls Jerry a Jew out of everyone. Jerry is most upset and wants to sue Cube for defamation of character and for being anti-Semitic. He tells E to take care of it. At a new music expo, people from Ruthless Records get into a fight with Cube's people. Meanwhile, the Rodney King beating is televised. A mysterious man shows up at Jerry's house one night and freaks him out. Dre tells E to get rid of Jerry, but E is loyal. Dre points out that they didn't make it because of Jerry, but because their raps are dope. Dre reminds E that when T died, E promised him that they'd all stay brothers. Replied sadly, "I guess you forgot about that." Dre leaves to form his own company, Death Row Records, with Suge, who in a later scene beats the crap out of E. to get him to release Dre and DLC from their ruthless contracts. Death Row starts signing new incoming artists like Snoop Dogg. E tells Jerry that they have to kill Suge. Jerry says they fight with lawyers. Dre and Snoop collaborate, but all is not well. Dre is put off by Suge's over-the-top violent nature. On April 29, 1992, the verdicts in the Rodney King case come down. The LAPD is found not guilty, and the LA riots begin. 1 year later, 1993, E begins having money problems. Cube is reading the script for Friday. Dr. Dre's album, The Chronic, has sold 5 million copies. But despite the success of Dre's album, he's finally decided to leave Suge. E sees Cube at a club, and they patch things up and show respect to each other's careers. Cube agrees to do an NWA reunion as long as there is no Jerry. E is trying to cough. His girl, Tomika, looks over the contracts and tells him that Jerry took advantage of him and now he's broke. E meets with Jerry, who points out that he isn't looking too good, but eventually E fires him. Then he calls Dre and patches things up as well too. They talk about collaborating again. Ren and Yella are ready to start recording a new NWA album. They're just waiting for Cube and Dre to show when E faints and is sent to the hospital. The doctor tells him he is HIV positive and all he can do is try to keep him comfortable for up to 6 months. E goes public with the announcement he's dying of AIDS. Another few months later, March of 1995, Dre visits him in the hospital when he's in a coma. Cube shows up but doesn't go in the room because he doesn't want to see E like that. On March 26, 1995, Eazy-E dies at the age of 31. Very sad. The film closes on a montage of the real-life surviving members of NWA and the careers up to now. Ice Cube continues to make music as a big-time movie star. Dre has become a hugely successful businessman, which is true. He makes Eminem a star and sells his Beats by Dre brand to Apple for $3 billion, which is still the biggest deal Apple has ever made. And that is the synopsis of Straight Outta Compton. What do I think of it? Oh boy, where do we begin? Oh my god. Where do we begin? Oh man. This movie, oh my god. This movie isn't like one of those documentaries you see, but then again, it kind of is. Because, you know, it's talking about the lifespan of NWA. First heard Straight Outta Compton not too long earlier in the year. Oh my god, it is amazing. Right around the same time I heard The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 from 1982, 4 years before NWA established. That's one of the greatest hip-hop singles of all time, no doubt. Anyway, back to NWA. Man, what can I say about this movie? It's unfortunate Eazy-E is no longer in this world. No, he's up there with all the other rappers of his time, and as of now, he's looking down on NWA. And damn it, he's proud. He is proud of what he and his other pals or fellow rappers have done. I watched this movie earlier tonight. Thank you, APizzle90, for recommending me to watch this movie. I absolutely loved it. It was one hell of a movie. Oh my god. Wow. When the credits came up, I'm like, no, I'm stopping this. I know not many people watch the credits. I really wanted to, but I'm just like, okay, what did I just watch? I think I may have watched one of the greatest movies of the decade. I think honestly, I think it may be one of the best films of the decade. One of the best documentaries. It's a documentary, but not really. What genre is Straight Outta Compton? I gotta check. It's not action, not adventure. Okay, so it is a biography. It's a drama film biography. Easily one of the best biographies of all time. No doubt about that, folks. No doubt about it. One of the best biographies ever made. Absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, check it out online. It'll be out on DVD and Blu-ray on January 19th. And I may get it, but I don't know yet. Let's get to the ratings. Oh my god. Easy 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite movies of the year. Speaking of which, now we're on the topic of that. That's coming to y'all tomorrow. Top 10 movies of the year. Top 10 best and worst. Coming at y'all tomorrow. 10 out of 10 Straight Outta Compton. This is Murray Bingham signing off. Straight Outta Compton.